Good morning, folks. How are we doing? I am Scott. That is Bo. There is a co-pilot. I'm exploiting my pets. We'll talk about pets a little bit later today. How are we doing? Today is the 16th day, I believe, of August 2022. It is about noonish, quarter after noon. Nice Tuesday afternoon. Aunt BB has been put in timeout on Twitter. Somebody from the, some person, I saw a little bit of the conversation, popped up out of nowhere with a thing in their description in Twitter with like 30 followers, if that many. And the thing in the description was a nickname given to people who are trying to regime change Nicaragua. And that individual was very proud about their efforts to try to bring down the totalitarian regime in Nicaragua. So got into a heated discussion with Aunt BB. And of course, Aunt BB sides with the regime change asset, who is obviously a fake account. Yesterday's video was all about naming the people and the institutions that we are currently at war with. And big business. And Twitter, certainly part of all that. But that's what you see. That's what you get. Today's video, we're going to talk about how clearly obvious what I was saying yesterday has become. I mean, it's beyond even the fucking maskies coming to the point where they're like, no, I'm not taking any more of your fucking boosters. No, keep them away from my 7-month-old children. They're losing. And they're losing rapidly. Rapido, as they might say in Nicaragua, if they mauled the fucking Spanish language as much as I do. They might say that. This is where we are, and this is what this fight is, and it's so fucking obvious. But now here's the problem. Vladimir Putin, during a discussion, happened to mention that many of our fucking leaders on state level, on federal level, appear to be bought by global elites and are doing their bidding against the fucking interests of their own people. Now, I say, unfortunately, he said this because now that's Putin propaganda. What we've been talking about all this time is now because of that. Putin propaganda. But I'll play that video for you. Yeah, I'm still a little under the weather. Let's make sure that I am recording. Yes, I am. And let's zip into this real quick. Holy moly. Now, for those of you who are listening or watching on a smaller device, I will read for you as he speaks the translation. I hope you'll be able to discern my voice from his. His will be the one speaking like a diplomat in a foreign language. Mine will be the one speaking like a jackass in broken English. Just to help you figure out, you keep track of all the players. Have a listen. This is what Vladimir Putin said the other day. This has been posted by Vanessa Beeley. The Ukrainian situation shows the U.S. wants to prolong this conflict. This is just what they do in provoking the potential for conflict in Asia, Africa, and South America. As we know, recently they tried to add fuel to the fire in the Asian South Pacific region. The U.S. adventure to Taiwan is not just the actions of one irresponsible politician. It is a conscious and targeted strategy of the U.S. to destabilize and chaoticize the region and the world. It is a rude demonstration of their disrespect towards other countries and their international obligations. We see in Pelosi's visit a thoroughly planned provocation. It is evident that Western global elites are attempting to distract their own citizens from the very dire socioeconomic problems, living standards falling, unemployment, poverty, and deindustrialization. They would like to blame their own failures, faults, onto other countries, Russia and China, who are standing up for their own point of view, who are building a sovereign policy that does not bow to the dictates of the transnational elites. Let me let you finish. For those of you who speak the language, I'll let you hear the rest of what he's saying.
Которые отстаивают свою точку зрения, строят суверенную политику развития, не подчиняясь диктату наднациональных элит.
So, what part of that is a lie? What part of that is a lie? I told you many times that the real conflict between the United States and Russia and China, it's not about being terrorist organizations or all it is simply is, if China were the China of 15, 20 years ago, we'd have no problem with China. You wouldn't hear Tucker Carlson talk about China, 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 as he will in a few seconds on this video, where he mentions China in the beginning of a discussion that has nothing to do with China. But he's always got to be blaming China, even Tucker Carlson, the truth teller, Tucker Carlson. China, 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 China. He just told you what the conflict between the United States and China and Russia are. China and Russia have a different system of economics than we do. They have a system that we used to have, which is a regulated market economy. We have a free market economy. And the idea behind any kind of regulations has, since the 1980s, been taboo, evil. A lot of people in the alt community know who fucking Cass Sunstein is. And they know what an evil little ghoul Cass Sunstein was. Did you know what role he had in the Obama administration? He was the regulation czar. His job was to run around and cut regulations to liberate business from the evil clutches of government. A lot of you libertarians out there who know who Cass Sunstein is and know how vile he was, many of you would agree with much of what he did for the Obama administration, cutting evil regulations. Well, here's the problem, folks. When you run a country of a business, by business, and for business, the whole point of business is more. That is it. More. 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 When they teach people in these elite schools how to be good fucking servants to these institutions, to these fucking corporations, to these LLCs, what do they teach them? They teach them the pursuit of more. 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 A corporation cannot stand pat on a certain amount of profit margin from one quarter to the next quarter to the next quarter. That gets their CEO and their COO and all these other people fired. Why? Because the people who own it, the people who hold all the stock in the company, want more. We got 5% last quarter. We expect 7% this quarter. We expect 9% and then 23%. And it doesn't matter how you get to those numbers, as long as you produce those numbers. And when you have that kind of mentality at the highest level running your country, running your Justice Department, running your CDC, making important decisions that will affect your lives, running your fucking Treasury Department, running what is supposedly your central bank. When you have people with that mentality running these fucking institutions, there's a big thing now. Everyone's pushing and saying, oh my God, they're losing credibility in our institutions because of, we'll talk about this too, the illegal fucking raid in Mar-a-Lago. When you talk about how we've lost faith in our institutions, and they try to blame people like myself, people like Aunt Bibi, people who are out there, the Uncle Hoteps and folks who are out there telling people the truth about what's happening. They want to blame us as the messenger. They don't want to blame the institutions for the corrupt shit they're fucking doing. Sorry. Today's video, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this fake fucking divide, not between the right and the left, between the left and the left, and who's more left and who's less left. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's what's happening right now in the alt-left community. Somebody was interviewed, Joy was, whatever her name was interviewed by fucking Cenk Uygur, and he talked about Jimmy Dore. Who's more fake left, Cenk Uygur or Jimmy Dore? That's literally what they're talking about. Meanwhile, in reality, Vladimir Putin is telling you more fucking truth than either one of those two phony ass pieces of shit. Vladimir Putin, president of a different country.
Видим в этом тщательно спланированную провокацию.
Thoroughly planned provocation. It is evident in Western globalist elites are attempting to distract their own citizens from the very dire socioeconomic problems. The very dire socioeconomic problems that those motherfuckers are causing deliberately so they can bring about a great reset. And what do we have? Where are they? Here it is. Brianna Gray, that's her name. Brianna Gray, press secretary for the Bernie Sanders fake campaign of 2020. Is she more real left than fucking Cenk Uygur or Jimmy Dore? That's what the left is doing right now. What's the right doing? Oh, I don't know. Have a listen.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson Time. Happy Monday. We've had a few days to reflect on it and have concluded that no honest person could believe that the raid on Donald Trump's home last week was a legitimate act of law enforcement. It was not. Even the Biden administration didn't really bother to pretend otherwise. The official explanations that we have heard for the raid make no sense at all. It doesn't matter how forcefully they are repeated by the media, they're nonsensical. In case you've forgotten what they are, here's the very first explanation they gave us.
Okay, we're not going to need to go through that. I talked about this the other day. I did 2 videos on this the last couple days. That's real. He misses the point, but that's real. That's legitimate. And in the meantime, this is the thing on the fucking fake left. Who's more real left? Cenk Uygur, who was started with $5 million by a Republican to run his fake alt-left news empire, and then a contributor from that backs Hillary Clinton a couple of years back contributed another $20 million to Cenk Uyghur's network, which, by the way, gave birth to that guy right there, Jimmy Dore. And Jimmy Dore is who he is today and has the money he has today, not because of his skill as a comedian, which, by the way, if you ever do yourself a favor. Look up his fucking stand-up prior to when he was on YouTube. Nyuk, 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 nyuk. He's horrible. But he made, for 10 years, all this money at his name, being the sidekick to Cenk Uyghur. That disgusting, despicable fucking institution. Brianna Gray here, big fan of fucking, once worked for, maybe still does, Glenn Greenwald. Big fan of Glenn Greenwald, who, by the way, we talked about yesterday, helped bring about CISA, which was CISPA, minus the P, and privatized the collection and the surveillance, collection of all your data, including emails, telephone calls, social media posts, everything. What you buy, what you think about buying, what you say in private to your spouse in the living room. Her left-wing hero, Glenn Greenwald, brought you that. This is fucking ridiculous. And this is how we in the left, the real left, are being distracted away from serious fucking issues. One that's so serious, even the fucking president of another country is talking about it openly. And he's accurate. He's 100% accurate. Even Tucker Carlson, Mr. China, 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 all day long China, he points out the fact, and rightly so, and I talked about this the other day, that we have slipped into what could only be really described as fucking failed state status, where they are now rounding up members of the opposition, arresting them, hitting them with trumped-up charges. And there's a couple cases that Tucker Carlson mentioned. One was a guy who was supposedly, in 2020, 4 years after the fact, he was rounded up for posting memes about Hillary Clinton. And he was literally put in fucking prison for memes about Hillary Clinton in 2016. Memes. And other fucking obviously horrific cases like that. One thing that old Tucker here doesn't ever get and is never going to get, even though he talks about this being an unprecedented raid, and it was, but one thing he's never going to get because he's paid too much money to get it, which is how it always works, is that this is not about left versus right. This is not about their economic ideology versus the right's economic ideology, which, by the way, is the exact same economic ideology. The left hates Russia, 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 because Russia has a deep, different economic ideology. The right hates China, 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 because China has a different economic ideology, which is the exact same as Russia's, and which opposes ours by example. Because God forbid those dominoes fall when people in areas and in regions of the world notice that a country seems to be doing okay by their people with a different economic ideology. We can't let that stand. We can't allow the people to vote the wrong way in other countries. And now, according to Tucker Carlson and myself the other day, apparently we can't allow people to vote the wrong way in the United States. We are a failed state. But what he won't tell you is this. It's got nothing to do with Donald Trump running for office in 2024. It has a great deal, this raid had a great deal to do with Donald Trump filing a lawsuit and looking to shed light on what happened back in 2015, 2016. They made Donald Trump. We know that now. Looking back on it, there were leaks. They deliberately pushed media outlets to cover Donald Trump because they wanted Donald Trump, and by they I mean the Clinton campaign and the Obama administration, wanted Donald Trump to be the opposition against Hillary Clinton in the general election. Why? Because their own polling showed she couldn't beat any fucking Republican except for Donald Trump. And that's why they did it. And then their Frankenstein monster turned on them when it started to show in the polls, when more about her fucking criminality came out. Emails. I don't want to hear anything else about those damn emails. Said her fake boss, back in 2016, as he rolled over the first time. They knew they had a problem, and so they started to spy on the opposition in 2015. They planted some dude up in with his campaign. The same guy had a history of doing that shit in the past. And they got some partners of theirs in the Five Eyes programs. Remember that? Remember those days, boys and girls? When that shit came out, that GCHQ had gotten involved in spying on Donald Trump and his campaign in order to help the Hillary Clinton people, we were yelled at. We had videos removed, given time out on Twitter when you dare say GCHQ did that. Then what happened? The Guardian confirmed that GCHQ had actually done it. Five Eyes program working against a political candidate in the United States of America. That's not 2024, boys and girls. That's 2015, 2016. Came out early 2017. And that's where we are. That's what his lawsuit was looking to shed more light on. That's why they had to have all the documents out of fucking Trump's house. Tucker's going to tell you they keep making up one bullshit story after another bullshit story to the nuclear codes story. How fucking stupid is that? Seriously, how stupid is that? They think he had the nuclear codes in his basement, so they waited 1.5 years to go get them. And he's going to show you videos of Joe Scarborough repeating that stupid shit with a straight fucking face. There's a reason these guys make all this money. There's a reason these guys make all this money. Because they can say shit like that with a straight face. I couldn't do it. I have too much fucking self-respect. I'm not a fucking whore. Because that really is the definition of what they are. Somebody who gets paid money for doing what anybody can do. That's a whore. But he won't tell you that this raid has nothing to do with the fucking election. Well, a little to do with the election. They want to make sure that a populist sounding candidate doesn't fucking run, doesn't fucking win. And they want to send a message. And why? Well, Putin told you why. Putin told you why. We have been building a policy that is not sovereign, that does in fact bow to the dictates of the transnational elites. And who are they? They're not hard to find. Here you go. Here you go. Here's the leadership of the World Economic Forum. There's a picture of them. They gave you a picture of themselves. There's old Klaus in the middle. Whole bunch of folks. Let me show you who they are. That's a chairman, managing director of Reliance Industries, chairman, executive officer of Salesforce, chief executive officer of AXA. These are all financial institutions. That's Lawrence Fink. He's the chairman and chief executive officer of BlackRock. But it gets better. That's the managing director of the IMF. The IMF is an international monetary fund that imposes free market ideology, fucking international loans, debt servitude on nations all around the fucking world. That's the IMF. If you don't take out one of their loans and become a good little servant in the system, they'll regime change you. That's what they did to the fucking first elected president of Egypt. There you go, chairman of Bain and Company. You're starting to see? Here's Al Gore. He gets kickbacks for what he did. Letting them fucking steal the election in 2000 so they could pull off 9/11. Here's Siemens Energy, chairman of the supervisory board of Siemens Energy. Here's the Director General of the World Trade Organization. Co-founder and co-chairman of Carlyle Group. You guys remember Carlyle Group? Hanging out and talking with fucking brothers and family members of bin Laden on September 11th, 2001. Carlyle Group. There's old Klaus. There's Siemens. There's Accenture. There's Nestle. CEO of Nestle. You're starting to get a feel for who these people are. I hadn't even looked at the managing board. I guess these people all directly work for... Oh, look at that. Oliver Schwab. Let me guess where he comes from. Let me guess who his daddy is. These are the people who are dictating what happens, I don't know, even in situations like this. Why? Because if you take apart Hillary Clinton and who was the guy who went above and beyond to keep her from being fucking prosecuted and arrested and prosecuted. I forget his name. The lawsuit won't. You just go look at the fucking lawsuit. You'll know what I'm talking about. What's behind them, it isn't just that they are the ones. The 33 fucking thousand emails that were removed. Do you think they were all, just her and somebody else from some other government planning and plotting for no apparent fucking reason to take out Muammar Gaddafi? Because, I don't know, reasons. Of course not. There were business interests talking to Hillary Clinton via those emails, dictating what they wanted and what she had to do to get it. The World Economic Forum tells you they are the world's leading proponent of the public-private partnership. What does that mean? That means big business infiltrates, buys up, dictates what governments around the world do and how they do it. That's their claim to fame. That's on the front page of their fucking website, telling you exactly who they are and what they are. They are straight up fucking fascists. Period. It is a fascist institution. World Economic Forum, I do not lie, about, right here on the front page. The World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation. What does public-private cooperation mean? Fascism. That's exactly what it means. And fascism, boys and girls, has a favorite economic ideology. Would you care to guess what it is? Is it communism? No, that's stupid. It's fascism. Socialism? No, that's stupid. It's again fascism. Free market ideology. Bingo. There you go, boys and girls. Free market ideology. Get government, get regulations, get all that shit out of the way. Thank you very much, Cass Sunstein. Get all that out of the way. Let business reign. That old invisible hand will take care of the problems that we have. All the problems. The invisible hand. How's that worked out so far? Yesterday's video, I showed you that graph where the mean income of the fucking families all across the fucking country, where they've been from 1980 until today, just about the same. But since we started employing the fucking economic ideology of fascism, what's happened to the fucking stock market? And to all those people who run institutions like the World Economic Forum, and where they come from, and where they make their money. Now, all that said, let's roll back to the beginning. That's the problem we face. That's the fucking fight. But of course, on the alt left, they got a debate: who's the biggest fraud, Jimmy Dore or Cenk Uygur? Which, by the way, if you ask me, that's a toss-up. Because they are both promoted. Jimmy Dore's promoted 9 days out of fucking 10 on this thing over here by Twitter. The same Twitter, by the way, that took out BB. I had an image. What did I do? What was that image I put up? Oh, yeah. Let me show you this. I'll put this image up. You guys should see this. This is funny. I wrote, it's a rough crowd in fucking social media. Old President Biden came out and so proud of himself. Later today, with the signing of the Inflation Reduction Act into law, we made history. It won't reduce fucking inflation. And it was written by fucking special interests. But he says, he's so proud. We made history. And so, of course, I responded. And earlier this week, you also made history by illegally rousting the home of another political rival right after you announced you would run again in 2024, officially turning America into a failed state. Historic doings all around, Sniffy. Your crackhead son should be proud. Social media is a mean, mean place. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little lightheaded today. Yeah, I'm still sick. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. To Aunt BB, hang in there. Hashtag free the BB. Let's make that happen. As you can see, I got my FSLN flag flying proudly behind me for Aunt BB and the people of Nicaragua. It makes me so proud to be a member of the alt-left sometimes. They're fighting over who's more real left than the other. Oh my God. Yeah. Two fucking officers beating some dude's ass for running away or trying to run away. And the officers are debating afterwards who's more of a goddamn fascist thug. Guess what, boys and girls? You both are. Anyway, I gotta go. I thank you very much for your time. Bo's getting ready to get up because he knows since I'm going to finish that, since I start doing this spiel at the end of my videos, he's about to get to go outside. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Oh, that's right. Pets. I mentioned pets. We could talk about the NATO thing too. Jesus Christ. That's something else is happening that, of course, on the fake left, they don't even know anything about. Our hero Zelensky in Ukraine, I talked about this the other day. I said that he had clearly they had bombed fucking shelled this fucking nuclear plant, and they were trying to say that for some reason the fucking Russians had done it. And then Zelensky comes out in an address to the European Union and says, and who knows which way the wind will blow. And I told you then they did it. Now it's clearly evident that the Ukrainians have shelled their own fucking nuclear power plant. Another fucking Chernobyl they are threatening. Just openly threatening to bomb, to shell their own nuclear power plant. And just see which way the winds are blowing if they don't get their way. And they're being supported by the likes of Cenk Uygur. But here's the one that got me. This is the one that got me. Oh, by the way, talking about China and Taiwan, since Putin mentioned Taiwan.
The government of the United States of America acknowledges the Chinese position that there is but one China, and Taiwan is part of China.
There you go. As if there was any fucking question, but there you have it. But here's the thing. This is how evil these motherfuckers are. This is how fucking evil these motherfuckers are. This is the fucking Guardian. Get Pocket. I don't know. It came from the Guardian. It's on whatever this stupid shit is, but it came from the Guardian. Should we stop keeping pets? They're coming for your goddamn pets. They're coming for your fucking dog. They're coming for your fucking cats. Oh my God, pets are causing too much fucking global warming. And it's really evil to keep pets, to hold pets, to keep pets and give pets a place to live and make them part of your family. Cricket? Am I evil? Cricket. Am I evil or not? You're not even looking at my... fucking cat. I gotta beat that animal. They're coming for your pets. They want you to eat bugs. Humans aren't supposed to eat fucking insects. We don't digest exoskeletons. Oh my God. They want your fucking Social Security money back. They want your fucking pension money back. They want you to work until you fucking fall over dead. They want your homes. They want your fucking... They're gonna take your homes and make you live make you pay rent. This is what those motherfuckers are doing. They want you to have fucking nothing. And they just want more. 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 And it's not a hard fucking concept to understand. Really, I tell you the truth, if this was covered, what I've talked about today was covered by MSNBC and Fox News for twice a week for a month and a half, World Economic Forum would fold. It would collapse. And people's associations with it would be, they would be rushing for the exits, pointing fingers at each other, promising they never took money from the World Economic Forum, promising, swearing up and down, I swear to God, I'm not a fucking traitor. If this kind of shit was talked about in the mainstream media for 2 months, a couple times a night, so that the average person could see it, could look at it, could evaluate it, could understand it, and realize, oh yeah, gee, they've been fucking us the whole goddamn time, it would change practically overnight. Which is why you got Tucker Carlson talking about China, 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 and trying to make it into a left versus right bullshit story. And of course, why you've got, I don't still have it up anymore, but why you've got fucking people like Cenk Uygur and Jimmy Dore fighting back and forth over who's more left, which is just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I gotta go. I thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a good one. Get out there and enjoy yourselves. I'm still in the process of looking for the old vehicle. Cross your fingers. I got one last option going on, so cross your fingers. Bye-bye.